that message right there just let me know that I was dating. The video, your girl is back again with the story time. If you're to my channel, hey girl, hey. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't even gotta say nothing because you know what's up, I know what's up, we know what's up, and that's on way. That's on period. And Mary had a little lamb. As y'all can see by the title, well, y'all, I think I know what I want to title this video, but I think it's just too bold. I really want to title this video "The Time I Found Out I Was Dating a Bad B." That's what I really want to title the video, but I don't know if that's appropriate because YouTube be flagging videos now. So I don't really know, y'all, but this is going to be a story time about the time I found out I was dating a bad B. And I'm going to give y'all backstory for the people that don't know what that means. But before we get into it, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe, y'all, and let's go ahead and get to it. So I will always see these posts on on Twitter. Well, I don't really use Twitter, but y'all know everything that's on Instagram, they take it off Twitter. Everything that's on TikTok, YouTube, like, y'all, it circulates. Everything they put on one social media platform, it makes it to the other platform. So y'all know Justin LaBoy, or is it Justin LA? I think it's Justin LaBoy, Justin LA. What's that other meme page? Ninjas Be Broke, that page, they will always repost these like little memes, and this was like around last year. I used to see these little memes heavy, and they would say something along the lines of guys are the new bad bees, like they want to be the bad bees in the relationship. And at this time I had never came across a guy trying to be a bad bee. And basically what that means, for any of y'all that's kind of confused, it basically means the guy's trying to be the female, like they're trying to take on the feminine role in the role as a female in a relationship. Because I don't care what y'all say, don't believe men and women's the same. Like, we never gonna be the same. We're not on the same level. We're not the same, and we're not the same in a relationship. So when people are saying guys are the new bad, I'm trying not to say the B word, y'all, because like I said, YouTube be flagging these videos. But yeah, so this story time is going to be about the time I found out I was dealing with a bad B. And it's crazy because leading up to this, it was no signs. Y'all, honestly, I thought it was another perfect gentleman. He was charming, real charismatic. Like, you know, I didn't see the signs. And then at the end, the signs were just like clear in my face. And unfortunately, y'all, I think I have one screenshot. And that's only because I sent it to my friend. But I don't have any other receipts for this video. Just simply because once I found out he was a baddie, I deleted everything, like lost contact with this individual, like cut this individual off. Y'all already know, if you're not new here, I met this individual on the girl's favorite dating app. At this time, I was on either, oh yeah, and if you don't know, we go doing a whole dating series. I think I'm gonna get the rest of my like dating horror stories. Not all of them was bad, y'all, but this one was pretty bad. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get my dating series out the way, y'all. So I should probably just put these in a playlist and call it horror dating series or something. I don't know. I might do that for y'all. But yeah, y'all, I was on Hinge around this time, and this said individual was on Hinge. I don't know if it was Hinge or Bumble, because like I told y'all, I was in between both of those dating apps, and this person was on there, and I don't even want to lie to y'all, I do not remember how we matched on the app. All I know is he contacted me first, and I think he like commented heart eyes on a picture. I posted this picture. This picture was on my Hinge account, and he like commented heart eyes on the picture, and he was like complimenting me or whatever. So, you know, I checked his profile out. He was really fine, y'all. He was not dark skinned. Like, dark skin, a dark complexion man is typically my type, y'all, but he was not that. He was actually lighter than me. He was like a caramel complexion. He had really nice hair. Like, his waves were doop 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 doop, baby. The waves was on swim. Waves was nice, thick, dark and lovely beard. Like, the beard was just, y'all, you can fall asleep in this man's beard. Like, he had a really nice, thick, just, baby, the beard was there. Like, the beard was just there. The man was just, yeah, he just had it. When it came to like looks, face, hygiene, he looked very clean cut. He honestly was a pretty boy, now that I think of it. And I typically do not go for pretty boys. I'm more of a like a rough around the edges type of girl. Like, you have to have some like cute features about you, but he was just very much pretty boy now that I think about it. But when you hear his voice and how he carried himself, it wasn't giving that at the beginning. Like, before I met him, just looking at him online, if I showed y'all him, y'all would be like, okay, Asia, he's a pretty boy. Like, he could be a model, y'all. He was actually kind of like thinner than usual. And I like to say I don't have a type, because if you fine, you fine. Like, I don't really have a type, but he wasn't the typical type, if y'all know what I mean. So boom, we match on there, and now we conversing on the app, and you know, we just trying to get to know each other. Very much small talk. He's asking me where I'm from. I'm telling him I'm from Florida. I'm telling him I just moved to Houston a couple weeks ago. He's telling me that he's from Houston. He said he was from, what's that area called? I think it's called Fourth Ward. If you know, you know. I think he said he was from that area, y'all, because it just rings the bell. So he's from that area, and I don't know nothing about Houston, nothing about Texas. I'm just like, oh, okay, or whatever. And we just chatting, and we just going back and forth. Eventually, he ends up getting my number, because like, I'm not about to check the app every day, y'all. I be turning my notifications off of the dating apps, because in public, it's embarrassing if you want to date and then you get a notification that you want him. Like, we don't do that. So eventually, the communication was flat on the app. I would probably write him back like days later, just because I didn't have my notifications turned on the app, y'all. So I ended up giving him my number. So now we talking, and again, very much small talk. Oh, we forgot to give him a name. Let's go ahead and call him. What do I want to call him? Y'all don't like my last name. Y'all said tuna fish was not nice, and I honestly was not trying to be mean, y'all. That's just what I thought of. So it was tuna fish. So let's call this individual, let's call him Baddie, because that's what it was giving. It was giving Bad B. So we gonna call him Baddie, y'all. So I gave Baddie my number, and now me and Baddie is texting. Baddie didn't waste no time to ask me on a date. I think he had my number for all of 2 days, and he was trying to come through with a date, y'all. I remember our first date was at it was at Longhorn, y'all. So we ended up going to Longhorn. I met him there. And again, I'm always nervous on first dates, y'all. I'm going to put a picture of how I looked on my first date. Your girl was, y'all, I looked delicious. I was super cute on my first date. He was cute too. I forgot to mention, y'all, this man was tall. Like, he was really, really tall. He was like 6'4". Like, you would thought he was a famous basketball player, because he had like the looks, like clean cut, pretty face, kind of slender build, 6'4". He had a nice car. He had like a newer car, and he had a very deep voice, y'all. So we met up. We're at Longhorn, and you know, I'm doing a little tap like I don't really know you. We hug each other, we sit down, and you know, we start talking, y'all. We talking, and the whole time while we at the table, we were kind of like we was flirting, y'all, but with our eyes. I don't know what it was, but if you know, you know, like, we never, like, the conversation didn't get taken out of proportion. Like, I felt like he was very meticulous with what he said to me and how he was talking to me, but at the same time, I could tell that he was really feeling your girl, because we was both just like kind of flirting with our eyes. Like, I'm looking at him, he looking at me. Like, when it would go completely silence at the table, we kind of just, you know, like, I'm just looking at him, he looking at me, and we just chatting, y'all. We just chatting. Ooh, who emailed me? Sent the payment. So we just chatting, y'all. And as we chatting, by the end of the night, he ends up walking me out to my car, and we have one of those long car conversations, and we just in the car, and we probably sat in that Longhorn parking lot for, it was wild. Like, well, after they closed, y'all, we was just in the parking lot just chatting, and just, you know, we kind of just didn't want the night to end either. I say my goodbyes to him, he said his goodbyes to me. That's that, or whatever. He texted me the first thing, good morning. Like, the communication with Baddie was immaculate. Like, I had never, like, I've dealt with people that had great communication and then it fall, but with him, the communication was always up here. Like, from the time I gave him my number to the time he was blocked, y'all, this man did not miss a good morning text. Like, every morning it was good morning, every night it was good night. He called throughout the day. Like, he was very communicative, y'all. The communication was there. So he texted me good morning, reminds me how well the date was, tells me I look good. Like, he's always complimenting me, telling me I'm very pretty. You know, I'm not the type, when somebody compliments me, I personally don't compliment them back, because I honestly feel like if somebody sees me and they're just like, oh, Aisha, I like your shirt, I'm not the type to be like, oh, I like your shirt too. I'll just say thank you and keep it moving. I like genuine compliments, but I can kind of tell that he was like fishing for compliments. Like, sometimes we'll be on FaceTime and he'll compliment me, and then it'll kind of get silent and awkward. He'd be like, dang, you don't like my hair? And it's just like, I do like your hair, but I'm not about to tell you I like your hair just because you fishing for compliments. Like, you know, it's not one of those. But y'all, we not there yet. So boom, fast forward to our second date. We went to main event and we played a game of bowling, and I forgot what else. They have like arcade games. They have shooting games there. They have like all types of games there. So we had a day at main event, y'all. We went there, we had a good time. Again, he's competitive, I'm competitive. Like, he started beating me in bowling, and mama ain't raised no loser, so he let me cheat. I started like bowling when it was his turn to bowl. Like, we was just having a good night. We was drinking, just y'all having a vibe. Like, the vibe was just there. But at this point on the second date, I was very attracted to him. But for some reason, I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't know what the term was at the time. Like, he was giving me baddie vibes, but I just didn't know. I couldn't like pinpoint the sassiness in him yet. Like, I just couldn't pinpoint it. At that time, I kind of took it as like, all right, maybe this individual is going to be just a great friend of mine. Because at this particular time, y'all, when I was dating and I was going with the flow. Every person that I was going on dates with, I wasn't trying to make them my man. Like, if it fits, you know, if the shoe fits, then I'm Cinderella. But y'all, it wasn't like that. With him, it gave me more of like an attractive friend vibe. Like, we were just gonna be friends. So we just hanging out, you know, we just doing us or whatever. And again, another good night. Next morning, he compliments me again, good morning, beautiful, I had a good time. Just, y'all, communications chef's kiss. Like, the man had not dropped any red flags, no baddie vibes. Like, everything is just going well. Fast forward to our third date. We had a movie date, a dinner date, and then we went downtown and we were just like walking around downtown. Again, y'all, perfect date. I don't remember what movie we seen because this was a while ago, y'all. But again, perfect date. Everything went well. Like, we had a good night. Text me again, follow up. Even like before dates, like, he would call me to make sure I was gonna be on time, because I believe by the second date he had picked me up from my house. And I know y'all would be like, Angel, don't let, you know, I know. But if y'all know how this Houston traffic is, this Houston heat is, in my little car, the air don't be blowing the coldest. So I felt like it was fate. I know y'all be like, don't be getting in people's cars, don't be letting them pick. But y'all, I'm alive. It happened. He picked me up, and then they charge for parking everywhere in Houston. I ain't dealing with it. So he picked me up on the second date. I forgot to mention, y'all, he was also a gentleman. He was like holding the door open for me, not for like going in and out of places, like that's law, but he was doing it like with his car. Like, anytime I got in and out the car, he would hold the door open for me, and I would literally tell him not to do it, because sometimes it seemed like super extra for him to go all the way around. Like, you don't have to hold the door for me every time. Like, I know you a gentleman, but he was just going above and beyond. Just a super sweet guy. So fast forward, after the third date, I remember the communication was still there, y'all, but it was just at like a standstill. So maybe he was following up with these dates every week. So from the first day I gave him my number, 2 days after that, we went on our first date. The following week, we went on our second date. And then the following week, we went on our third date. So now we've pretty much been communicating for about a month. And then, you know, it's time for our fourth date. By the fourth date, well, we actually never got to the fourth date, but let me get there, y'all. He was texting me and he was calling me, and we were still communicating. And I just remember like he started texting me and he started saying like, hey, how's your day going? What you doing? And I'll just be like, oh, nothing. I'm running errands, or I'm washing my hair, or I'm recording a video. You know, I'll just be telling him what I'm doing. And then eventually I started lying, y'all. Like, I would be enjoying my day, doing things, and he would text me. He would be like, hey, beautiful, what are you doing? And I was doing something, but it wasn't really important. And I wanted to let him know that I was available and my schedule was open. So I started texting him like, oh, I'm not doing anything at all. And he would just be like, oh, okay. And And this was unlike him because, like I said, y'all, the man had followed up with every date. So the fact that he was just saying, oh, okay, when I just told you like my schedule was free, it's like, that's unlike you. But I'm gonna keep it moving, because at the very beginning when I'm dating somebody, y'all, I try to just go with the flow. I honestly like to let a man lead because I want to see what type of man you are. So I wasn't gonna plan any dates at this far. It was only the first month of me knowing him, so I'm not planning any dates. I'm letting him plan all the dates. I'm letting him pick the time. I'm letting him pick the dates. If I see something on social media, I may have sent it to him, but I'm not saying, hey, yeah, we should go here. I might be like, oh, this just opened this weekend, or the fair is coming up. You know, I might throw little hints out, but I would never just be like dominant and be like, hey, I want to go here. Hey, take, no, like, you the ninja in a relationship, so I'm gonna let you lead. Or that's what I personally like to do when I'm getting to know someone, just because I want to see what you would do and how you move. So, you know, he was planning all the dates. Everything was going well. Like I said, before we got to the third date, the communication kind of, it didn't go flat, but the follow up was flat. Like, it was no, after I said I wasn't doing anything, no follow up, y'all. And I was making it obvious that your girl was available. So that was the first time I seen, like, he was just like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, maybe he was busy. Maybe he just wanted to know what I was doing. Maybe he's busy this month. Like, maybe he can't follow up with no dates. So boom, fast forward, maybe like a few weeks after that, I don't want to be dramatic, y'all, because y'all know I'm dramatic. Let's just say a week after that. Maybe it could have been 3 days, but to me, it felt like a week, y'all. But a few days after that, again, we're still texting every day. We're still communicating. We're still FaceTiming. But usually during text is when he'll be like, hey, what you doing? And he'll, like, you know, suggest that we do this or ask if I'm available during this time. But I just started to notice, like, every day he was asking me, like, hey, what are you doing? And I'll just be like, oh, I'm cooking, or oh, I'm doing this, or oh, I'm doing that. And he would never follow up in with any plans. And baby, I don't play that what you doing, what you doing, what you doing. Like, when I was in college, oh, excuse me, in Tallahassee, y'all probably don't even know what Tallahassee is, but in Tallahassee, all the college ninjas, they would do that. And I already been through, like, y'all, I don't like my time being wasted. So if a man texts me more than 2 to 3 times and they ask me what I'm doing and they don't follow with no plans, then he's cut. Definitely at the very beginning. But because Baddie had already took me on 3 dates, I thought maybe he was just busy. I didn't really, let's just say I missed the sign. But by the second, what you doing and no plans, I was kind of like side-eyeing him, like,
that's weird.
Tried to follow up on a date when I was already out of town, and I had told you that. But, you know, let's just go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he didn't read the text. You know, maybe he just forgot. So fast forward to that Monday, I was back in town, and this was really the first kind of thing about Baddie that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. At this point, I did not know he was a baddie. It wasn't giving baddie vibes at all, but it was just something that just kind of like, something's a little off about you, sir, but I just can't put my finger on it. So boom, his birthday was coming up. And when I say coming up, it was coming up soon. Like, if you blank, it was his birthday, y'all. His birthday was like in 2 weeks. And he was just saying, he don't know what he wanted to do for his birthday, but this year he want to do something big. He's like, yeah, this year I'm trying to go all out. I'm trying to do something big for my birthday. I'm thinking about a trip. So I'm like, where we going? Like, where you want to go? Where we going? So he was like, Ashley, we going to Mexico. I want to go to Mexico. Have you been to Mexico? So I'm like, yeah, I've been to Mexico a few times. Mexico is always a good time. Y'all know I'm in Houston. Mexico is literally a hop and a skip away. So I'm like, baby, let's go. Like, I can plan a trip to Mexico in no time. But like I said, y'all, still kind of in the getting to know Baddie, y'all. Get to know him. So I'm letting him plan. I'm letting him do things. I'm not going to go out my way and try to plan a trip for somebody's birthday unless, you know, they make it known. So we just talking about it on FaceTime, and he's just like, yeah, I really want to go to Mexico. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to, like, he's basically saying he wants to get into like cenotes. He want to go zip lining. He want to go skydiving. He's saying all of these things, y'all. And I'm just like, yeah, like, let's definitely go. So I think that following day he called me, and he was saying that he was looking up flights, and he was asking me like my name and all of this stuff. And you know, y'all, I'm thinking like, okay, you know, he buying the flight or whatever. I give him my first, last name. What else you need to book a flight? First, last name, and of course my birthday. I tell him that, but he already knew my birthday because, like I said, I told him that like prior because we were getting to know each other, so he already had that information. So I'm telling him all of this, and I'm like, all right, we going on the trip. You know, we just going on the trip, and let's say the next day rolls by. I'm not saying anything about it because I'm waiting for him just to send me like the confirmation to my email or to send me a screenshot to my text that he got the flights. Y'all, nothing the next day. Fast forward to like the third day. Oh, y'all, I don't know how I missed this. The whole time, mind you, at this point, we haven't gone on a date. This is probably like the third week because the second week was when I was in Atlanta, and that third week of us not going on a date, this was the third week of us not going on a date. This was that week of me getting back from Atlanta. So at this point, the whole time while I'm in Atlanta, he keeps telling me like, oh, I miss you. I can't wait to see you. He act like he was so bothered by like, you know, me being in Atlanta. He couldn't spend time with me because I'm in Atlanta. So he's just like, oh, I miss you. I can't wait to see you. I can't wait till you get back. He's saying this the whole time. Fast forward back to where we was at, y'all. He's asking my information for the flight, but he doesn't mention anything about a flight. And it's just like, why mention a flight and there's no flight? It's like when a man asks you, oh, what's your shoe size? What's your shoe size? What's your ring size? And there's no ring in sight. There's no new shoes in the box. Like, why are you asking this? So he's asking about, you know, my information, give it to him. Fast forward, I think 3 days go by. At this point, I got a job, so I need to know if we go on a trip or not. Like, it's your birthday. We can't do no surprises. Like, I need to know. So y'all, I asked him, I'm like, hey, what we doing for your birthday or whatever? Are we still going somewhere for your birthday? And he was just like, yeah, we still going somewhere for my birthday. That's why I haven't been taking you out anywhere because, you know, I'm saving up for my birthday. I want this trip to be big. He's saying all of this. So I'm like, oh, okay, or whatever. And when he said it, I'm like, it's giving BS, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. Let's just say I buy it. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So he's just like, yeah, we could do something, but you know, I'm just really, you know, I'm low on money right now. I'm trying to save up on, let me not lie. He ain't say he was low on money, y'all, but everything that he was saying was just giving cotton in pockets, wallet with dust in it. Like, that's just what it was giving. So he was just like, yeah, you know, I'm saving up right now for the trip, blah blah blah. I asked him about the flight. I don't even know what he said. I think he kind of didn't acknowledge it. Like, he just disregarded what I said. I was just like, oh, did you get the flight? He's like, yeah, that's why I haven't been taking you out. I'm kind of saving up for the trip. So at this moment, obviously, y'all, present time, the flight didn't exist. There's no confirmation. Like, there's no, you're booked. It don't exist. But at that time, I'm thinking, okay, we going on a trip to the Little Rock and Chantilly. We ain't going nowhere, y'all. But baby. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, you know, you saving up. Nothing's wrong with that. I'm having a little, I'm a little crazy. Like, when things be happening, I be analyzing everything. So me and God having a conversation, and I'm just like, all right, God, is it wrong for a man to say, while he's in the middle of casually dating you, is it wrong for him to say that he's saving up money to go on a trip? No, Asia, that's not wrong. You ain't crazy. That's fine. You know, I didn't like that he had to tell me that, y'all, because personally, if I was a guy and I was saving up, if I was putting a hold on dates and I was saving up for something, I wouldn't let the woman know, like, hey, I'm saving up. What I would do is just take her on cheap dates. Like, I'll take her on little walks in the park. I'll take her out to eat, little ice cream dates, little sushi dates, little movie dates, you know, little affordable, inexpensive dates. That's what I would do. But he was expressing to me like, hey, I haven't taken you anywhere because I'm saving up for the trip. Mind you, just 2 days ago, it was like, mission, I can't wait to see him. But I digress, y'all. I digress. So boom. The birthday comes and goes. By this point, remember, y'all, Asia is no longer interested. Not interested. At this point, I'm going on dates with, I'm going on dates with other guys. And, you know, I'm just doing my own thing or whatever. Like, I'm really not interested in him. Like, oh, he's cool. Like, if he got the flight, like, I hope you got flight insurance on it, because, you know, I'm not going or whatever. And he's texting me every day, like, good morning. I'm texting him back, like, hours later, like, oh, my bad, I was asleep. I was walking my fish. Like, I was tired. You know, I'm just, like, kind of just throwing him off. Like, I could have been honest and be like, he got me. No longer interested. But y'all, I wasn't. I was just kind of blowing him off or whatever. And I was dating other people. We had each other on Instagram. I remember I was on a date and I posted like a cocktail. Maybe I posted a picture of a lemon drop martini, and he swipes up on it and he was like, without me, question mark. So I responded back, I thought you were saving up. You ain't have no money. So he responds back and was like, dang, but you could have invited me out for a drink. So at this point, it was starting to get batty. So it's just like, you telling me you were saving up for your birthday trip. So that's why, you know, you haven't really been inviting me out. You just kind of been texting what you're doing all day, not leading up, like not following up with no plans. But now you on my story telling me I should have invited you to happy hour, when you just told me a few days ago that you ain't had no money. So I think I just left him on scene. I'm just like, you know, that's kind of weird. Like, no invite. What you mean no invite? People that don't have no money or people that's saving up for a trip, they don't do happy hour. They don't go out, you know? So I didn't respond to him with that, y'all. I just like kind of left him on scene after I said, oh, you were saving up. So oopsie, couldn't invite you. You were saving up. But really, y'all, I was just, you know, kind of getting over his shenanigans. So I was just, you know, casually dating somebody else at this point. And keep in mind, this whole time while I'm casually dating, y'all, I'm dating like multiple people, but he was one of the ones that we actually made it to a third date. Like most of the people that I'm dating, they probably made it to like maybe 1 or 2 days max. Either there was no chemistry, they was crazy, or, you know, it was just a date and that's all it was, you know. So boom, he writes that happens. Fast forward maybe like 2 weeks later, his birthday has came and went. I didn't tell him happy birthday, didn't talk to him at all, because like I said, I'm living my life, I'm dating other people. I'm not really interested in him any longer at this time. And then he writes me, y'all. He texts me and he's just like, hey, what's up? Keep in mind, this whole time the communication never left. He's still texting me good morning. He's still checking up on me, telling me good night. He's still calling me through the day. Like, he's still trying to communicate with me. But at this point, I'm kind of just dodging him. So one day he writes me. He's just like, hey, like, what's up? Can we talk? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, what you want to talk about? And he was just like, lately, you just been MIA. And like, can we just talk? Like, can I come over and we just have a face-to-face and talk? So I'm like, yeah, Baddie, you can come over. We can talk about it or whatever. And then he came, y'all. And, you know, the girl was supposed to be telling him like, hey, this happened, I'm not really interested, to this and this and that. But when he got there, y'all, he started flirting with her eyes again. And he's sitting in my living room and he basically is just talking to me and he's telling me like, hey, I'm really interested in you, and I just had a lot going on, like it really hurt me that you didn't even tell me happy birthday. And he's just going on, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I just, you know, like I don't remember what lie or what excuse I gave him at that time, y'all, but I kind of just told him like I don't know, maybe I told him my granny was sick. Y'all, I don't know what I told the man. On a real note, I think I just told him like I was going through a lot. When I'm not going through a lot, but when I think I probably told him I was going through a lot, y'all, because that's what, it's a little insider between me and my homegirl. Anytime we feel like a guy is being inconsistent and we start being inconsistent back with them. When I say inconsistent, he was being inconsistent with the dates, y'all. And we start being inconsistent back to them, and we just be like, oh, like we just going through a lot. We're not going through anything. We, you know, we're moving on. We're uninterested. But we just like, oh, I was going through a lot. Because it seems like when guys' communication is not there, they can never be honest. They just be like, oh, we going through a lot. So I'm going through a lot too. Like, my fish died. Like, I'm going through a lot. So I told him I was going through a lot. And he was very empathetic, y'all. We talked and I felt him like he was just, he really, at that time, I'm like, all right, this guy really does like me. And to this day, he probably could have really liked me. I don't know, y'all. But I think we just watched TV. I gave him a hug. We ended up falling asleep on my couch. And I went and I got into bed and he slept on the couch, y'all. And then probably like at, I want to say at like 2 a.m. I woke up. Mind you, y'all, my couch, it's like 84 inches. This man is 6'4". He's a big man. Feet hanging off my couch, neck all crook. I woke up like at 2 a.m. to go turn my TV off because I left him out there with the TV on. And I woke him up. I said, hey, you can go get in bed. So he gets in the bed with me, y'all. And the first thing he do, I'm thinking, oh, I'm about to get some cuddles. The girl ain't been cuddled in a while. So that's what I'm thinking, y'all. The first thing he do is he get in my bed. I wish I don't got on pants, so I can't show y'all right now. But y'all, the first thing this man do, he gets in my bed. And okay, this, oh, okay, where am I? Okay, this me, y'all. This me. This him. He's next. He gets in my bed and the first thing he does is turn the other cheek, like cheek to cheek. Like I'm right here, he's right here, and he just turns the other cheek. So I'm like, that's weird. Like you don't try to cuddle me, or you don't try to, you don't try to do nothing. You just like turn the other cheek. So I'm like, this a little weird or whatever. Quick interlude. So your girl was moving too fast while I was filming this story time. It's literally, y'all, it's 2 a.m. right now, and I filmed that first part of the video like an hour ago. But baby, I forgot to connect the dots. So the last clip y'all just seen, I basically told y'all that he was in my bed and he turned this way and he basically wanted to be the little spoon. This grown 6'4" man wanted me to little spoon him. And I'm like, okay, let me just turn the other cheek. So I turned the other cheek, and then later, I don't mention it that night, the next day, or maybe it had to be like the next morning or maybe the next 2 days. I don't remember when I mentioned it, but I know that I mentioned it shortly after that. I was being very passive aggressive, and I was just like, you have a peculiar way of sleeping. Like your sleeping style is very weird. And he was just like, oh yeah, sorry, I like to be the little spoon. Chuckle, chuckle, chuckle. You like to be the little spoon. Ninja, you're 6'4". Y'all, he basically was in my bed looking like he looked at like a tarantula that just got sprayed with Raid spray. Y'all know how like y'all spray Raid on like a roach or a spider or something, and it crawls up, like it just sponges up. That's how he looked in my bed. So even that, it was just giving baddie, but at that time it didn't give that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get back into the story time, but I forgot to connect the dots because I think I just left y'all off by saying he slept that way in my bed, but I didn't really explain what I was getting to. But yeah, y'all, the man told me straight up that he liked to be the little spoon all the time. That's how he sleeps. That's his sleeping style. Who? Not over here? You don't pay rent over here? I'm not really interested in him, so my actions are going to show that I'm not really interested in him. So again, he's starting to feel like, dang, like she's not communicating with me, she's not saying anything. And the reason why I'm not texting him back, y'all, he's still texting me like, hey, what are you doing? Having brunch with another ninja while you text me what I'm doing. Like, don't text me what I'm doing. So he's texting me what I'm doing. Again, at this point, I'm already kind of tapped out. I'm not trying to see if he's following up with any plans or anything because I'm null and void. Like, I'm not even texting back. So I didn't text back. Fast forward that night, he texts me like, oh, how's your day going? Nothing. No text back, because what day? No text back. Fast forward the next morning. Good morning, Asia. I would really like to talk to you. Like, how are you doing? Mink, mink. No text back. No text back, y'all. So at this point, I guess I should have probably just blocked him. But at this point, I did not block him yet, y'all. I I was just disregarding his text messages. And then finally he called me, didn't want to talk to him on the phone. So like I let the phone ring, and then I finally text him back, and I'm like, hey, what's up? And he was just like, what's up? Like, why are you like, or why are you trying to, he said I was trying to ghost him, y'all. He's like, why are you trying to ghost him? And mind you, y'all, this was around, if you were OG, you gonna remember this. This was around the same time I did a story time. It was a dating story time, and it was a situation where the guy was just a complete lunatic, and he kept calling me, kept harassing me. And I remember y'all was just like, Aisha, why don't you just tell him you're not interested? Like, you had a great time. It's not him, it's you. Like, just tell him you're not interested. This was literally right around that time where I dropped that story time. So every day when I'm checking my notifications on YouTube, I'm seeing y'all comments, and y'all just like, Aisha, just communicate, just communicate, just communicate. So I'm like, F it, let me just communicate. Because usually, y'all, I personally feel like I don't owe nobody an explanation. Like, if I cut somebody off or I'm not talking to somebody, definitely if it's like a guy that I don't, you know, like, we cool, we hung out, we had our run, it was a fun one, but you know, you didn't make the cut. Like, it is what it is. I don't feel like I owe you an explanation. But at this time, y'all was heavy in my comments. Asia, you could have just told him you weren't interested. And this was about a whole nother guy. So I was just like, yeah, y'all right. It's not hard. Let's try this communication thing. Obviously, if you was my man, I would give you a communication. Or if you're my friend, I'll give you, you know, I'll relate how I feel and I'll express my feelings. But if it's just a person that I've only known for 6 weeks, I don't feel the need to. So at this point, I put my Taurus panties to the side, and I'm just like, let me go ahead and text him. Let me text him back. I even remember, y'all, when I was texting him, I didn't even feel right texting, because I'm just like, how do you do this? Like, how do you express the way you feel to someone that, you know, you don't really feel for like that? So I'm telling him, like, basically, you know, you kept texting me what you was doing. You didn't follow up with no plan. So to me, that gives that you're uninterested. So, you know, I'm uninterested. You know, I'm just uninterested. So he was just like, how are you? And y'all, I'm the only reason why I have this one screenshot. Let me pull it up in my phone, just simply because after this text messages, he was blocked. But I have this because I couldn't believe it. So I literally screenshot this and I sent it to all my friends, and I'm just like, y'all, I am dating a baddie. Like, I dated a baddie. Like, are you for real? So before he even sent this message, y'all, he was just like, I felt like you didn't even like me because you didn't apply any pressure. And I remember talking to my homegirl, and I'm just like, what does he mean by apply pressure? Like, we're still getting to know each other. It's been like 3 days. Like, you're a cool guy. Like, what pressure do you want me to apply? Like, I'm showing that I'm interested. Opening up my schedule. We're going on dates. Like, what you want from me? Like, you want a kidney? Like, what you want from me? So I texted him back, and I was just like, question mark. Like, what do you mean apply pressure? This baddie texted me back and was like, why don't you apply pressure if I taken you on 3 dates, y'all? But he's like, I taken you on several dates and you haven't offered to pay for anything. You don't hold my door open, and you never come to my house. I'm starting to think you don't have a car. On top of all of that, I don't even think you really like me. You never ever even complimented me. Y'all. Be for real. Be for real. Be for real. Y'all, he had a problem with me not reciprocating and holding the door open for him. I told y'all, he would compliment me all the time, and I would compliment him there, but I wouldn't compliment him immediately after he complimented me. I would be like, oh, your smile looks nice today too. Like, no. He was always fishing for compliments. Like, you can't tell me I look good and just keep it moving. Like, I gotta compliment you back. And then 3, what else did he say? 3, you haven't paid for anything. I've taken you on several dates and you haven't paid for anything. And after I read that message, y'all, this man was blocked. I blocked him. Blocked him. He was blocked. Blocked. Blocked with a capital B. Because who's taking you on dates? I personally, y'all can let me know how y'all feel about this, but I'm personally not taking a man on a date that's not my man, or I don't see a potential future with you, or we don't have a set in stone relationship. For example, if I would have just wrote it off as like, all right, we was gonna be friends. As friends, I could pay for some of our dates, you could pay for some of our dates, you know, that's friends. But at this particular time, it was just a third date. You're still courting me, we're still getting to know each other. Why in y'all lucky we on YouTube, because I really want to say something that start with rabbit and end with A. Would you think that I would be paying for any dates? Like, that message right there just let me know that I was dating a baddie, y'all. After that, he was just cut completely loose, because be for real. Like, be for real. But y'all, the story doesn't even end here. It would have ended here. And the thing is, I didn't even think this was gonna be a story time, because this happened like months ago. But I don't have any of the receipts, y'all, because literally it's just like I couldn't even think that this was gonna be a story time. I was honestly just flabbergasted that he would have even text something like that. I remember sending it to my homegirl, and I'm just like, bitch, what does he mean by apply pressure? But that happened. Fast forward to literally, I want to say this has to be, if not last month, I think it was last month, y'all. Last month was April. I want to say at the beginning of April. And I don't know when I deleted my dating app. I honestly want to say I deleted the dating apps. It's been months. I want to say back in October. That's when I deleted all of the dating apps, y'all. And I'm no longer on the apps anymore. And he wasn't the last person that I had dated that was on the app, but it was just, I don't even want to be a hypocrite and say it has anything to do with the apps, because honestly, y'all, I feel like the same men that be on these apps are the same men that be at the post office, at church, at the grocery store. Like, these are the same people. So I don't like when people be like, I'm the dating app. It's not the dating app, y'all. It's the dating pool. The dating pool has piss in it. It's not the apps, it's the pool. I'm not even gonna get started on that, y'all. But yeah, so after that, last month, my homegirl hit me up, and she lives in Houston, and she's on the dating apps. And when she hit me up, she was just like, Asia, I'm lying, y'all. She sent me a screenshot of Baddie's Instagram profile, and she's like, Asia, how do you know him? And I'm just like, that's Baddie. She knew who Baddie was. Because if you my friend, the way y'all be getting these story times, I be telling my friends, like, and like when this is happening, I be telling my friends this in real time. So she already knew who Baddie was. So I'm just like, that's Baddie. And she's like, laugh emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji. And I'm just like, bitch, what? And she was just like, we matched. Like, we matched on, I don't know if they was on Bumble or Hinge, but I don't know what app it was. But basically, she was just like, we matched. And I'm just like laughing my ass off. I wish I would have to look. The phone I'm recording off is the one that has the receipts for this one, and I screenshot and sent myself this one, but I'm just gonna paraphrase, y'all. Basically, I'm not reading directly from my text thread from that one because it's not on this phone. But basically, she said something along the lines of, he mentioned you last night, and she sends me a screenshot, and he tells her that, well, she tells him that I went to FAMU and I'm from blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, you went to FAMU, you said that you have a friend that lives in a certain side of Houston. Please don't tell me that your friend is Asia. And she sends him laughing emojis back. And then he's like, yes, my friend is Asia. And then he's just like, now that I think about it, y'all kind of sounded like y'all kind of talk alike. So at this point, they had been talking on the phone. They had been talking and like communicating or whatever. So that happened. She texts me. I believe my homegirl is at work, so she couldn't give me all the tea. So I'm just like, okay, so this guy, he's still on the dating apps, and I'm not surprised because he's a baddie, and no one's gonna put up with the sassiness for too long. Like, you was a baddie. Eventually, you gonna always be on the apps because you a baddie. So boom, finally she gets off work and she calls me, and basically she tells me that he's just like, oh, yeah, I matched with her on blah 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 app, but we ain't really have anything going on. It was nothing real serious, so I hope that doesn't mess up my chances of us being together. Or I don't know what it was, y'all, but he said something along the lines of, I hope you don't stop talking to me just because I know your friend Asia when we didn't really have anything going on. So he downplayed the Mr. I miss you, I miss you, what you doing 2, 3 every 5 seconds. It's telling my friend that he didn't say he didn't really know me. He just said that we didn't have anything serious going on, and basically, like, he just matched me on the app, and that was that. So of course I'm not gonna really go into details and disclose how me and my friend handled that situation, but yeah, y'all, that's pretty much the story time on how, oh, this video is long. I did not realize this video was gonna be that long. But yeah, y'all, that's the story time on how we dating a baddie. Also, if any of y'all are interested in this unit, it is available on my website. I just installed it today. I'm literally about to take it out tonight. And y'all, the hair is bomb. Like, y'all know I don't even do colored hair. I don't do looks and styles like this, but this hair is everything. It's a 13x4, 24 inches. It's body wave, and it's HD lace, y'all. The lace is giving. It's a really cute unit, so if any of y'all are interested, you can have it. Also, somebody did inquire about this wig because I posted on my website like a few days ago, and I do want to let you know that you can dye this unit. So if the color is a little too bold for you, it is human hair, so you can dye it. Honestly, I would have kept this wig if it was like black and then it had highlights of the 27, but red is just a little too bold for me, y'all. But it's cute, child. It's cute. Good night, y'all. I'm forever recording story times late at night. Let me know if y'all like my uploading schedule. Do I post too late? Let me know if I post too late, because I feel like I probably post too late. But y'all, I'm just a night owl. I be up, and when the sun go down, I just decide to record. But yeah, love y'all. See y'all in my next video. Mwah.